Welcome to WARECAP, the only tool for the industrial market that allows the space owner, someone who needs space, and the brokers to use as a productivity tool. We're going to demonstrate today what it's like to be a broker and how you can actually help your clients. So as with most sites, you can go ahead and sign in. If you don't have an account, it's easy to go ahead and join in. The organization can be whatever you have, whatever your organization that you belong to. So let's just kind of create an organization here. And we'll go ahead and create your name. Just go ahead and create a mobile phone number here. You have the option to choose your time zone or have the site automatically coordinated via UTC. Go ahead and create your email. In this case, we'll go ahead and use this one. Let the computer create the password, and we'll go ahead and submit. Now there's some terms and conditions here, and the WARECAP relationship is effectively the opportunity for you to create a license agreement, to have certain responsibilities that allows the broker, you, to use WARECAP as a productivity tool. Really what we're looking for is that if you're using the tool and transacting on the tool, we would love for the broker to share in the fee that WARECAP gets. WARECAP makes its money through 10% of the space owner's rent on a monthly basis. So for a limited time, brokers are able to get 50% of our fees if you create a referral. But before we even get to that, just go ahead and do a quick read of these terms and conditions. Hit agree. And essentially, we would like to have the opportunity to either do this yourself or you can go ahead and create an administrator. In this particular case, you're going to go ahead and say no, because you're effectively going to be the person that is going to transact the majority of this information. Now let's say you find somebody who has space that they would like to list on our site. We just simply list the space and we can see this wizard that you're able to walk through. In this particular case, you're going to be the referral. So just like we did with your ID, user ID, you will enter your email. The reason we do this is that as we transact, as the space gets transacted, we're able to go ahead and reference your information and give you credit. So this is a really important step. So let's go ahead and hit next, and then we'll go ahead and, like most other types of things that we are listing, we're going to go ahead and create the address. And we're just going to go ahead and use this real quickly as an example. It ports over your entity. And of course, this is different from the entity above. You can go ahead and create this. Now, recognize that this is the owner information, okay? So if you're doing this on the behalf of a client, you may want to go ahead and put their organization. So this could be, let's just, for sake here, we'll just talk about the owner's organization. Contact name. This could be your name. It could be the owner's name, but let's go ahead and continue on with your name. The phone number, the contact email, and then here to use the the billing address for the ownership information. Let's go ahead, for argument's sake, let's say it's the same as this listing space, just to go ahead and save time. Now, you have the option then to go ahead and select the different types of space. So why don't we just go ahead and use this yard space example. And you can see here there's all sorts of ways to go ahead and check and uncheck the types of space it is. But let's just kind of walk through floor space. You'll see how a pick list just kind of comes up. There's all different type of custom fields that correspond to the different types of space. Rack space. So here again, pallet length, pallet width, etc. Freezer cooler, different types. You can actually have a pick list here, floor space or rack space within the cooler, freezer cooler. So again, all different types of pick lists, all the different types of questions, already pre-populated to save you a little bit of time. Parking spaces, again, you can click, tells you the different types of surface and so on. But for our example, let's go ahead and use yard space. We can go ahead and click here to check all of them, or we can go ahead and just kind of select. And for our example, we'll go to gravel. It's not fenced, has water, has sewage, has electricity, has lighting, no security, and in this case it's riparian because it's on the water. Now we're going to go into some of our deal terms. So you can see how we're kind of walking through the wizard right up here, and we're just going to go ahead and answer some of the questions. So right here it's the size. So the to value is optional. So in other words, this could be, you don't have to put an end item or an end state. If you want to just do the entire lot, you can just leave it blank. This is really the minimum that you would like to go ahead and have rented or listed. And let's just do this as an example. And we're willing to go ahead and do a 1/4 acre at a time. Now here are the notes, kind of your taglines that you would like to go ahead and put when this gets posted on WARECAP. So you know, it could be virtually anything. You know, the best lot ever. I'll just put that. That should get somebody's attention. And we can go ahead and say, let's just say we're going to do a 1/4 acre at $1,500 a month. And you don't have to put an upper limit, but it's helpful to go ahead and have a lower limit. The term, in this particular case, we're going to do 1 month. And let's just go ahead and say we'll do anywhere up to 10 months. Now, this is whether you're going to use your own license. So many space owners may want to use their own license agreement. One of the things with WARECAP is that we don't use a lease agreement. When you went ahead and clicked through those terms and conditions, one of those conditions was that you have the opportunity to use the WARECAP license agreement. So when all of this transaction is completed, a license agreement is actually pre-populated based upon all of the data that we put here. If the owner prefers to use their own agreement, then you would select yes, of which you would upload this at a later time. But let's go ahead and use the WARECAP license agreement. Past interest due, let's just say it's 3%. Insurance, what we do is that we recommend in the standard, in this particular case, it's $1 million. Insurance products of completed operations liability, we recommend $2 million as a market standard, and then insurance for automobile liability, which is also in this case $1 million. Let's go ahead and hit next. Now we get to upload some photos. So let's go ahead and upload some photos here. And photo here. We'll just go ahead and excuse me. Now, it's important to recognize that original photos are required. And by original photos, these are the photos that you or your client takes themselves. And what we want to avoid is reusing other commercial photos, as these commercial photos may already be trademarked, or they may be intellectual property. They may belong to somebody based upon their own terms and use. We don't have those restrictions, but what we do ask is that these photos are indeed original and that they are legible, and of course they fit the description and adhere to standards of decorum. You can have the different types of descriptions here. Grab a lot, street view, aerial view, etc. Okay, and then you have the opportunity to actually create the default right here. So this particular, let's take this one. I'd like for that to be the default. Let's go ahead and collect next. We have the opportunity to review all of the information. Everything is here, and you'll notice that this particular posting is draft or hidden. So what we're going to do is that we're going to publish this, and our space has been saved successfully. So now under your properties, this will now be a list. And there you have it. And that's how you go ahead and publish and list space for your client.